somewhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful thoughts, and you've always been a torchbearer of the innovation entrepreneurship ecosystem of the Telangana. We are very thankful to the support of the government of Telangana and especially the support from Department of ITEC. We look forward for your patronage in the coming time. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time despite a hectic schedule. I would like to request now the next speaker, Mr. Atul Kaushik, GDC Fellow from RIS, to kindly give remarks on this session. But before that, I'll take this privilege to introduce the speaker. Mr. Atul Kaushik stays the Global Developmental Center at RIS, the retired Additional Secretary, Government of India. He was India's negotiator in the WTO for dispute settlement and intellectual property rights, in the UNFCCC for climate change, and also served in the permanent mission of India in Geneva. He has delivered multiple development cooperation projects in Africa, trade capacity building of developing country missions Geneva, and an Indo-US triangular development partnership program in New Delhi. He lectures at the National Judiciary Academy, the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, and the Institute of Secretariat Training and Management of the Government of India, among others. He has also co-edited a book published by Academic Foundation entitled Reflections from the Frontline, Developing Country Negotiators in the WTO, and by the Government of India entitled Transforming India, Governance for Atmanirbhar Bharat, contributed chapters in dozens of books and several articles in various national and international journals. So we're very happy to have you here. I would like you to kindly come on the podium and kindly address the gathering. Thank you so much.
I had come with the thought in my mind that I'll take some time out of these sessions because they're going to talk a lot of technical stuff that I don't know about and may not care about, but I could not go out at all. It was so interesting that I spent the whole day with all of you, and I really learned a lot, and you spoke the language that I understood. So thank you very much, the university, for hosting me. I want to use this opportunity to talk a little about why I am here as a representative of the RIS and the GDC. So I have a small presentation, if you could put it up. You know, the Research and Information System for Developing Countries is a New Delhi-based think tank that works in the areas of research and development cooperation, started way back in 1983-84, working on trade and economic development areas, but has now expanded to many verticals. And one of the verticals that it has, that it has started in January 2019 with the support of the UK government is called the Global Development Center. So why did RIS decide to establish the Global Development Center, and what is the Global Development Center all about is the topic of my presentation. You know, I don't need to reiterate what all of us know, not only because it has been emphasized as a part of the Indian G20 presidency, but also because our Prime Minister has taken particular interest in becoming an active part of the Global South, a terminology that has started coming in currency more recently. But suffice to say that with the North-South and the South-South cooperation joining hands and now forging also triangular development cooperation, which involves a northern partner, a southern pivotal partner, and a development partner from the south, which benefits through this mutual exchange of knowledge and ideas. It has become imperative that the southern countries, they get together to do things for themselves. Now, when we want to do things for ourselves as the Global South, we do need to first know what do we have. Do we have the expertise that we can share with each other? And that is where the question of localization of our expertise comes. when I come and see what happens in all these startups that showcased their exhibits in the morning when the exhibition was opened, I find that the local problems have been resolved through local solutions by these startups. And this localization has been demonstrated through research also, in the literature also, to be a key component for achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. If you remember the Millennium Development Goals, which are set up without thinking about the interconnectivity of all the goals, the 8 goals at that time, that mistake was corrected during Sustainable Development Goals setting up, and the participation of not only governments and negotiators, but also the entire set of stakeholders, including parliamentarians and civil society. It has created a situation where we do need to localize, we do need to find out how to curate solutions that are relevant for us, that are relevant for the southern countries. And that is where the idea of the Global Development Center came. So this was established in 2019, as I said. The premise of its establishment was collective growth. It promises to promote development programs showcasing not only Indian expertise, but mutual exchange across the global south and sharing of peer expertise across the southern countries. And these experiences, expertise, and good practices can then cross-pollinate across the global south. And that is the idea of the Global Center. So at the moment, we are working on these 4 verticals that you see on the slide in 4 different colors. But let me go forward to show you the connect between what we in the Global Development Center do and what you are doing today. Look at the first column here, which is on agriculture and nutrition, relevant not only for SDG 2, but particularly for SDG 2. So we have worked along with a clutch of Indian organizations, particularly central government organizations, like the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, the National Water Mission, the National E-Agriculture Market or ENAM, and the Climate Smart Agriculture, PM Kusum, which found voice across 2 of the thematic sessions that we had in the morning and the afternoon today. Now, keeping in touch with these organizations, we identified a number of experiences, successful experiences that India has had in the agriculture sector. And when we engaged with other southern partners, we talked about it. And when we talked about it in global forums, in multilateral forums, or in our bilateral interactions, that generated interest in those countries to know more about it. And that is how the Global Development Center became a vehicle for South-South cooperation. Now, I will not go into the details of how it has become a vehicle of South-South cooperation. I will leave a copy of this presentation with the university and you can have a look at it. But I wanted to say that through this realization of South-South cooperation, this is the outreach that the Global Development Center has already undertaken since its establishment in January 2019. These are the various verticals in various regions of the world where GDC has worked. And this is despite the fact that we were established just a year before COVID happened, and most of our work until mid last year was virtual. So I wanted to talk about this outreach in particular to showcase that there are a number of areas relevant for agriculture in which we have been going across to Asian countries, to African countries, to the countries in the Pacific Islands, which are relevant for the kind of startups that we saw today, for the kind of engagement that we had in the thematic sessions today. And although I have taken notes, I would wait for a more detailed summary of the proceedings of not only today, but also the work that your brilliant students did on the 17th of March, and create out of it a new set of experiences and expertise that India can demonstrate to other countries, and take this across as a part of the Global Development Center's outreach to these all countries. We have already been to these all countries. We have interacted with these all countries, some of them virtually, some of them in person. Only last week, my colleagues came back from Ethiopia after talking to their ministries of agriculture, Ministry of Health. They wanted to know a lot more about how agriculture innovation is happening, how dryland farming is happening in India, what is ENAM, and they are planning to come to India also, and maybe we'll bring them to Hyderabad if time and opportunity permits, to continue this relationship that we are establishing with PJT SAU with this collaboration that we have had today. So once again, thank you very much.
We understand the coverage and extensive work that the GDC has worked in pioneering and spearheading the initiative of G20, and with your initiatives under T20, we are very happy to have you as an esteemed partner, and we look forward for more active collaborations and active participation in the coming time. Thank you for your wonderful insights. May I now request Dr. Kalpana Shastri, MD of AgHub, to kindly give a small memory from our side to present it to Mr. Atul Kaushik.
नमस्ते, मेरा नाम साधना है और हम हवेली खड़गपुर के बिहार से आए हैं। वहाँ पे हम सेवा से पिछले 7 साल से जुड़े हैं और 2 साल से हम CLM का काम करते हैं, कम्युनिटी लाइवस्टॉक मैनेजर हैं।